remember what this car was with those Vargas turbos, how laggy it was.
You had to just punch it. Whoa, all seconds! Fucking Jesus. Fuck those.
Slow down. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on the DAW Flowmax Plus car. Now, hopefully you saw the video where I took it for its very first drive on Christmas Eve. That was hugely rushed, trying to finish the turbo job, and I did intend on changing the plugs to the plugs I'm going to put in now before I did that video, but it was just, I just wanted to get the video out before Christmas. As expected, I got a little bit drunk on Christmas Day, didn't do any filming, and yesterday was just torrential rain. We've got a little bit of sunshine today, although probably not ideal conditions, but the plan is get some plugs out and go into a proper power run and just get some time on these turbos and see what they're like. Now, something I didn't actually talk about in the other video, again, sorry, it was awfully rushed, are the inlets. We have plenty of clearance down there, so those high-flowed, modified, re-angled inlets are absolutely fine, so I'm happy with that. Again, if you're in Australia and you need a set, they are on 0to60.com. I think there's 1 or 2 sets left at the moment. Now, these are the plugs that come out of the car. Now, under full load at those 25 PSI tunes, these were making some misfires, basically spark plug number 2 through to 6. If you've been following for a few weeks, this car was getting random misfires, and I replaced plug number 1. Now, these green plugs, they're actually one-step colder plugs, secondhand, that were in my car in 2019, a different car to this one. This plug is another secondhand plug from my car. I'm not sure how long it was in the car, but it was working fine. I think I just took it out when I switched to the B58 plugs. Now, we are going to go B58 coils on this car as well. I've got them ready to go. I just don't have the bracket here yet, so I can't put them on yet, annoyingly, and I don't want to put a brand new set of 1 or 2 step colder plugs for the elder coils in just for a week or two. So, being the gypsy that I am, we've got quite a few sets of plugs here. We had 3 or 4 sets of plugs now, really. I've got 2 or 3 sets of plugs from my car. I've gone through, and I'm going to go with 2-step colder for this, and I've picked out my 6 best looking 2-step colder plugs, and hopefully they're going to do the job. I've re-gapped them all to 0.018 of an inch. Let's see if they do the job. All right, I'll get them back in. I am going to check the transmission fluid as well, just make sure that's safe, and then we'll take it for a spin and see if we can do full throttle 7,000 RPM shifts without misfires. I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, plugs are done. The transmission fluid's been checked. We're all good. I'm going to take it for another drive. Dave's here. He's back from his little trip away. I just wanted to complain. I spent hours aligning the exhaust, which you'll see in the last clip, but obviously now it's heat cycled, they've moved in or something's happened, but they're now touching the bumper. I need to sort that out. But I think I wanted to show you guys what this Empire Performance exhaust with the small flanger sounds like. You have to give it a rev? Ready? Yep. It's weird. It's still an N54 twin. An N54 twin turbo cars never sound great, but it sounds alright. Like, they've tried to get equal lengths with it, I think.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, it doesn't sound insanely powerful.
No, I got that. I think that come across in the first test drive I did. It doesn't make enough noise for the amount of wheel spin that we get.
Yeah.
Anyway, the roads are sort of dry. I'm going to head out. See you in a minute, Dave.
Have fun.
Alright guys, so we're just out at the test track. Let's load it up and see if it boosts. I'm not going to do it first because that'll just blow the tyres off, but second. I stayed in it.
It still blew the tyres off.
It did blow the tyres off. Wow. Some wheel spins.
Aggressive limiter.
Okay, I was trying to be quite aggressive with it, but let's try it again. Alright, we'll be a bit more...
That was weird though, for how aggressive.
I don't know if you could see, I was just clicking through the gears as well.
Oh, okay, okay. So it was...
When I actually backed off, I was in 5th.
Oh, right.
Yeah, alright. So... It misfired!
That comes on hard though.
It does,
I feel the miss up the top, but when it gets into its power band, it's strong.
Alright, let's see what that misfire is. Which cylinder?
It felt really fast from the passenger seat.
It was quick, it was quick. So we go read the codes, read DME code, it's misfiring.
It sounds awful now.
Cylinder 6, alright. I use second-hand spark plugs.
Again?
Yes. I might need to put some new ones in. All right, guys, we'll do a little bit more driving, and I might need to change the plugs again. Fucking Jesus.
That's got to be good.
Slower. 4.4. Okay, we just got back. We ended up doing a fair bit of driving, didn't we?
A little bit.
And it didn't misfire again. So it misfired that first pull, but remember, these are second-hand plugs. They were in O'Reilly. They were misfiring in O'Reilly due to another issue. So they were a bit fouled up, so maybe they've cleaned up a bit. They're not great. We're not going to be setting any power records with these plugs, but it was just something to, as I said at the start, to get us by until we put the B58 coils and plugs in. Yeah, money's just tight. I don't want to waste a set of plugs just for a couple of weeks. However, we may have gone right out to the proper test track and done a 1 to 2. And with 2 people in the car, it's just done a 6.06 and a 6.08 on its bass tune with crappy plugs.
Yeah.
These Flomaxes are insane. I reckon this car right now on this base map is faster than my 17T car. I know my 17T has done a 5.75, but that was cold morning, 1 person in the car. I've only ever done a 6 even with 2 people in the car once, and it was winter, like probably 10 degrees less ambient.
It is not, it's quite humid day today. It's not very nice outside. It's not a nice atmosphere. And that was 1 to 2s immediately after another. Very, very consistent.
So, I think what we're going to do... Oh, we also got a transmission error. I may have been bouncing it off the limiter, and I think when it hits the limiter, I'm pulling the pedal off and shifting, and I think if I remove pedal input, the transmission reduces clutch pressure, because obviously it's not a wide open throttle shift anymore. So I think what I've done there is it's shifted whilst bouncing off the rev limiter, whilst I'm probably quarter throttle. Like, there's a lot of power going through the transmission while this event's all happening in a split second, and I think that's why it slipped second to third. All of the wide open throttle shifts we've done doesn't slip. I think all that's left to do, Dave, you've got to drive it.
Yeah. It's weird. It hits like...
Say it.
It doesn't make the noise of O'Reilly, and it doesn't pin your head to the seat, but the way, when you started giving it a bootful in third, the way it's swirly whilst launching forwards, from here it feels stronger than your car does from the passenger seat.
Very possibly. It doesn't feel as violent as my car does right now. It feels less powerful than my car.
Could that be the DCT?
I think it's the DCT. The DCT's just hit hard. Like bang, bang, bang through the gears. This shifts instantly, and on the draggy curves, there's no dip in the acceleration curve.
It feels good, that wide open throttle,
yeah.
3rd to 4th shift.
But it's not it doesn't bang into gear like a DCT does. I am wondering if we're going to have to increase line pressure. Maybe it'll bang a bit harder if it's got more line pressure. Look, I'm a bit taken back with how fast this car is right now. Like a 6.06 with 2 people in the car, when the ambient is 28 degrees C. I think the DA was over 500 meters. So, I mean, we're not, cars aren't fast in our summer.
It's kind of ridiculous. We're probably not showing, because it happened a little while ago when we were out of the track, probably not showing how excited that 6.6 really is. Like,
on the same note, it just did it.
It did.
It just went, bah, bah, 6 seconds.
Oh, and like you mentioned, coming back, the brakes as well.
Yeah, actually, shout out to Dick Ass, Diecase, whatever they want to call themselves these days. These brakes are working. I just done, I don't know, probably did 20 pulls, did 200 km/h heavy stops, and the brakes are just putting in the work. You can see we've got them warm, but they give me so much more confidence than mine. I think it's just the pads. I think it's these pads.
Yeah, but there's no hesitation, there's no wobble or anything. And from that speed, I'm not kidding. Like if you've driven even a track car, when you start trying to watch off speeds from 240-ish, it's hard work.
I wasn't stressed because I've been driving this car a little bit, like especially when I was doing the flex fuel tuning. I was completely confident we were going to stop in that distance where you weren't so confident.
The first 1 to 2, it was catching me by surprise the way it was just kept going past 180 and past 200. But yeah, then it was just completely fine, didn't unsettle. It felt sweet under brakes, so I was happy with that.
All right, you jump in, see what you think of it. Yeah, she's going. Okay, so remember what this car was with those Vargas turbos, how laggy it was.
You had to just punch it.
Wait, it's exactly what I did. It's so much more spooly.
I knew they were, I was going to say a little bit laggy, but incredibly laggy. But I thought these ones being so much bigger aren't going to be,
It feels like the 17T.
Yeah, what the hell?
In fact, I'd say they come on harder and earlier. I don't know if that's Ken's tune or what, or if my turbos are buggered.
I don't even want to accelerate in first gear now. Whoa, all second. That was nowhere near full throttle.
No, it's got some power, eh? Well, it has. It's just a 6-second 1 to 2. All right, let's see if you can do a decent 60 to 120.
All right.
Yep. 2.66.
Jeez, I was going to say that wasn't that good. I had to pedal it a little bit, top second.
Dude, this car is going to be quick. Get the AR1s on and it's going to be a monster.
That's what, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we've got crappy Dunlops on it at the moment.
Holy moly. With the AR1s, and this is the base map.
Yeah.
I mean, how much quicker can it get?
Well, I'm hoping about a second quicker 1 to 2. That'd be nice.
Yeah. That's impressive already.
Yeah.
It's a little bit intimidating.
You haven't driven a fast car since I really have you?
No. No.
Yeah, of course. This will be hitting you hard.
All of a sudden it's, you know, the way it's, as it's stepping and going forwards at such rapid speeds, and the way it's going through the RPM, that's second gear. Well, it happened in first gear straight away, so I was like, oh, I won't even touch first. But then it was half throttle in second, and it jumps up to the limiter again.
Yep. It's as soon as it breaks loose, it goes through the RPM so quickly. There's a couple of things on my mind. How good is it going to be with better coils and better plugs?
Yep.
How good is it going to be with a proper 2.5-inch twin exhaust instead of a 2-inch exhaust?
Yep. Plus the proper tune.
And then getting the tune dialed in. Like, I think it's going to be pretty wild. We've not done any weight reduction. Full weight car. Absolutely standard E90. Well, it'll be heavier than standard because we've got a load of extra shit on it now. Like oil coolers and massive intercoolers.
It's just become quite busy all of a sudden.
We'll go out to a safe place. You guys will see us in a second. You can't even tell you've gone through the gears.
Yeah, that felt really good, that shift then. But
there was a 2-3 shift in that.
Yeah, you couldn't even hear it. That felt really, really good from a driver's seat, except for the loss of traction. It's
still a 2.8 60 on 20.
Jesus Christ.
It will be.
Never really done an N54 with power.
Is that limiter?
Damn it.
But you did do a 4.40 to 100.
Christ. What is these people?
It shouldn't spin going up the hill. It's fair bit of heat on tires.
Fuck those
Slow down, slow down, slow down.
That shift is amazing under fucking full power.
You nearly got to the speed limit. Well, we're back. Dave, what are your thoughts?
They are sick.
They're not the big laggy turbos I was expecting.
It's almost the opposite. They are somehow, they're so snappy, they're so responsive.
Yeah.
Yet when it hits strong.
Now, I don't think the car's running much timing yet, being the base map, and the timing's where it's going to help to get it on power. Dude, the Flomaxes are.
That's a really. I know we're
insane.
This car, we just want a bit of a, you know, like a roll racer muscle car, but the way they're snapping the tires loose, you could on a circuit car or a mountain car, like a canyon car, sorry, a canyon carver, they wouldn't feel stupid or big.
No, you could drive this fast round the track like you can a 17T car. which you will struggle when you've got a turbo like what I really has, because when it comes on, it just spins you around in a circle.
Impossible, yeah.
Things that I wanted to just make a mention of. My transcool is not doing great. I can see the transmission is 106. I don't know if we're just putting it through too much. We have literally just gone and spanked this car for about 45 minutes solid.
And one after the other. To be honest, I feel like that was a pretty hard thrash.
But oil temps on the engine, coolant temps are good. Intake air temps are a little bit higher again than I'd like with this intercooler. But we'll live with it for now. It's 30 degrees outside. Yeah. It's a hot day.
And humid and yeah, just gross.
Yeah, I reckon I'm going to speak to Ken and see what plugs he wants me to put in it. I was trying to save money with the secondhand plugs, but looking at that log, it is pulling, it's targeting like 7 degrees of timing, I think, and it's pulling a hell of a lot of timing. So I think one cylinder on that 1 to 2 pulled 6 degrees of timing. So considering it's pulling that and it still went 6.0 with 2 people in the car on a 30-degree day, like, man.
It's going to be stupid fast.
Looking forward to it. Guys, we'll keep you in check for the journey of how we get it dialed in. But the turbos are better than I was expecting.
Yeah, I know a couple of people have been anxiously waiting the verdict or how they perform, and I've got to say they're better than I was thinking.
Yeah. The only reason this car is as fast as it is right now is the turbos. Yeah. I know, I'm not trying to have a dig at Ken's base map, but the time, we're not running much timing yet, so this is going to be fast.
It's going to be a very well sorted car and a bit of a missile in a straight line.
Yeah, I reckon it's about as quick as my car is now,
fully
after set
all
up,
of your
dialed in.
2 years continually changing things on your thing and adding go fast bits.
But when it comes on, when you get to that 4,500 RPM, and I don't think it actually targets 25 or 26 PSI until about 4,500, it feels like a really surge of power, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not quite as hardcore, but I mean, it hasn't got the noise of it really as well.
No, but you get that surge. With the 17Ts, you get a super, like it hits it hard at 4 grand as it does at 5, as it does at 6, as it does at 6.5. Where this, it hits harder as the revs increase.
Yeah, and that might be evident in the video if you keep that in mind when you're watching it, and the way it all of a sudden goes bang to the limiter.
Yes.
Back to the limiter.
It doesn't, yeah, it just, the more you rev it, the more power it feels like. Which will be the bigger wheels, the bigger exhaust housings, and getting the gas.
Which I thought was going to make it a little bit laggy, a little bit sluggish, but it just hasn't. So it's one thing I'm wondering is if anyone else running this sort of power with the 6AT is getting those slips, because like you're just saying, this thing's going to be a lot quicker than what it is now.
Actually, I do want to add to that. Yes, we got the transmission warning, but it was whilst I was bouncing off the limiter, and I'm like just clicking the paddle like a dick.
It sounded like there was so much going on in the car.
Yeah, I mean this. You know what it is? When we first put hybrids on my car, I was smashing the limiter all the time.
You were, yeah. So then just that readjustment.
Yeah, and I think it's just this is going through the RPMs between 5,000 and 7,000 so much faster than my car.
Yeah.
That's why I just got to get used to it. So it's probably the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's easier to smash the limiter. We'll sort it out. But like wide open throttle, 2, 3, 3, 4 shifts.
Oh, feels so good.
There's no slip. Like it just bang.
Yeah.
We only have that issue when I'm like pedaling as power skid and changing gear whilst being a dick with the pedal. So I think it's fine.
While it's going pop, 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 pop.
But we can up the line pressure yet. We haven't increased line pressure.
Yeah. So there's a bit of room.
Yes. But the trans is hot. The trans is sitting at 107 degrees. That's trans temp. Ugh. All right, guys. Flomax sort of review. The turbos do everything it says on the box. They spool like my 17Ts in the DCT car, but they have a lot more up top.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It's almost like he's put some money into development or something.
Yeah.
Weird. King likes it. All right. He really likes it. Let's go for a drive. All right. Enough chatter. The car's fast. It's going to be our fastest twin turbo car without a shadow of a doubt.
And it's a 4-door.
I reckon if I wanted those 1 to 2s that you in the car, it would be 5.8.
Oh, that's a scary thought.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, let's not push it too much until it's dialed in. All right. Thank you very much.
See you in the next one.